So welcome back to the best career mode channel here on YouTube. Today we're back looking at Baldur's Gate 3 news. We've been making a lot of BG3 content on this channel in the build-up to the full release. And Larian Studios have just, and I mean just, literally 7 minutes ago now, tweeted out, to forge a legacy, you need an identity. On our latest community update, we talk about the new character creation options, multiclassing, respeccing our new origin character, and much more. Read more on community update number 21, Forging Your Legacy. And that is what we have right here for this video, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to do as much BG3 content on this channel as possible, so make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you are excited for BG3, as we're going to have a full playthrough on this channel come August 3rd. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to talk about this game as much as possible in as many videos as possible, because I want to build the hype up on this channel and build a BG3 community right here, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to dive in. This is my first time reading it. I've literally just saw this tweet. I was actually going to record a different video right now, but I saw them tweet it out, so I quickly started recording this instead. So, community update number 21, Forging Your Legacy. I can't even begin to explain how excited I am for this game. I've been waiting for this update all day today. I'm pretty sure they're talking to us about the 72 hours potentially early access too, so keep an eye out. We're gonna begin. A malevolent new origin character, a disemboweled video game producer, a night of passion with a bear. What a way to go out. Thank you so much for joining us last week at Panel from Hell Release Showcase, our final big show before launch. It was absolutely incredible. I watched it live and it was fantastic. As you saw for yourself, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be a truly deep, systemic RPG with a story and world that is yours to mold. No two playthroughs will be the same, and that even goes for those of you who have unlocked a few hundred hours in early access. Act 1 makes up less than a quarter of the total content that will be available at launch. Less than a quarter of the total content. And compared to the start of early access, even Act 1 has roughly 33% more content in it. Much has changed, a lot has been added, and we're finally at a place where we're happy with the fidelity and performance of the game. Larian Studios, we love you, I love you, and I'm so excited. Today's update will explore those new features, fresh character creation options, multi-classing, and malevolent new playable origin character, crowds who gossip and react to your deeds. That looks awesome. The introduction of Alchemy, and much more. If you're here, we're assuming you've played early access. We have. If you're new to the game and looking for a broader overview of what Baldur's Gate 3 will be at launch, we're working on a separate video. Stay tuned for that later in the month. We'll make a little video on that as well. Again, I want to make as much BG3 content on this channel as possible because I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive in. Your character creation toolbox is getting bigger. Our character creator has evolved in many ways since we first launched early access, but our philosophy behind it always remains the same. To forge a legacy, you need an identity. Character identity is at the center of BG3, and making a character is about more than aesthetic choices. You are defining your identity, making decisions about your protagonist that will impact your experience in the game. Whether your protagonist be hero, villain, or Ed Sheeran, a simple bard traveling the roads of Faerun with his trusty lute and a barely concealed inner darkness that gnaws and festers, demanding release. The character creator provides a lot of room for expression. And you can see here a few different races. Oh, that dragon boy, that scaly dragonborn boy is what we're going to be playing as in our full playthrough. We are going to be a dragonborn. I'm thinking paladin or sorcerer, but we're not too sure right now. Our character creator has been updated over the course of development to include a robust selection of hairstyles, highlights, skin tones, and faces. But at launch, you'll have the chance to experiment with even more ways to create diverse, personalized characters. New skin options like freckles and vitiligo, which we spoke about in a video previously, actually. You can see you can now edit your freckles and the vitiligo permutation, which is awesome. Along with new tattoo designs, scars, lip, makeup, customization, accessories like piercings, horn color customization for tieflings. In 1.0, we're also introducing heterochromia, which I actually have in real life. It's when you have two different colored eyeballs. Mine, it's like half, you know, I have it. Letting you create David Bowie characters with different colored eyes. Hey, I have that as well. At long last, we're very happy to announce that we're introducing an age slider. And for those wanting to know if they can have a housing-sized buff barbarian, strong body types align for larger body sizes across all genders. We also looked at that in the previous video as well. So you now have an age slider if you want to be a more aged, experienced warrior traveling through the world of BG3. You can now push up that age slider, which means you have more wrinkles and maybe some gray hair with it and stuff like that. Or if you want to be a brand new young traveler, you can also do that as well. Also, they showed off some body types, the big buff body types, the lean, maybe for like a rogue or a ranger as well, which is just nice. It's just nice having that much customization, that many options in the game. It's so, so nice. Craft your destiny. Forge a bespoke class with multi-classing. Whether you are an experimenter at heart who forges class hybrids, I can't even speak, I'm so excited, through careful consideration, or you just can't decide between a warrior and a mage, we're excited to finally announce that multi-classing will be coming to BG3. Now, multi-class is a very interesting and exciting thing. Basically, what it means, actually, we might as well read it. Multiclassing really changes the game literally because it allows you to fully customize the theme of your character. It has both a roleplay and a practical function, leading to all sorts of chaotic combinations and experiments. We love chaos here on this channel. We love chaos, so I like the sound of that. In order to allow all your wildest dream class combinations, we've removed ability score prerequisitions. So there's no need for you. So there's no more need to get your charisma up to a pesky 13 if you decide to make a soul pact with a playful archfey or dangerous fiend. So they removed the ability scores altogether. Interesting. You can multiclass into anything your roleplay and build desires demand. Sorry. In short, this means warriors will be able to wield arcane spells. Rogues can... Oh my goodness. You'll have the freedom to build the exact class that you want. They've literally lifted the limitations. So usually if you're a warrior or something, it would be very hard for you to also dip in to that wizardy, sorcery sort of spell casting. Whereas now you can literally, you have that freedom. So you're not locked into one class your entire journey. If you want to go off into 2, maybe even 3, 4 different classes and spend your points that way, you have the options now to do so. Stuff like this is why I love Larian Studios and why I'm so excited for this game, because it gives you that replayability times a million. Because now it's not only, let's say you have 11 classes, you're not only locked into those 11 classes plus, 46 subclasses, whatever it is altogether. There's like 50 subclasses. You're not just locked into those 50 options. Now you can literally mix and match all of them. So your second playthrough, it's not just, oh, this time I'm a paladin, this time I'm a sorcerer, this time I'm a wizard. Now it's, this time I'm a paladin / wizard / barbarian, this time I'm just a sorcerer, this time I'm just, there's so many different connections you can make now, which makes each and every playthrough so different. Picture there, so it looks like this half-orc has a big, massive, giant axe, but he also has like a magey hat with a little bit of like wizardy spell sort of stuff around it. Oh my, it looks incredible. It looks incredible. Each level, you have the option to choose a different class to spend points on and begin building a bespoke multi-class character. Given the possible combinations, we recommend you have previous experience as a D&D player to fully leverage this feature. But should you decide to evenly spread all your points into every class for no strategic reason whatsoever, there's naturally an achievement for that too. Respeccing classes then, here we go. Controversial? Maybe. But a person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. We want to facilitate your experiments. With 12 classes and 46 subclasses, I was right on the money. Well, I said 11, but and now multi-classing. When it comes to your character build, both veteran and novices of D&D are sure to make a few mistakes along the way. Making mistakes is what makes us human, especially in video games. Making mistakes, sometimes making a mistake in a video game leads you down a path you'll never find before. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. We want to encourage you to try new things, find fun combinations, and ultimately discover the playstyle that suits you best as you adventure across the Sword Coast and beyond. Oh, give me this game. Give me this game. Very early in your adventure, you'll find that one particular NPC who was already helpful in early access has suddenly become even more useful. I think this is the respec, the person that's going to be able to respec. When you find him in the early stages of Act 1, who have a few extra helpful abilities to help you in this arena, giving you the opportunity to restart your build from level 1 with new starting proficiencies, attributes, spells, and cantrips. Oh my goodness. So you can literally restart your character from level 1. Restart your build. New proficiencies, attributes, spells, and cantrips. So if you make a character, you get through the tutorial stages, you're in early access, and you're thinking, I may have made a mistake. I don't really like this barbarian class. I wish I went something more magical. Boom! You have the option to completely restart without restarting the whole tutorial and all the progress you've made, having to recreate your character. You could just restart your build right there in early access. Mercenaries at your service, recruit lethal assistance with Hirelings. They spoke about Hirelings, and these sound really, really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If we click on this picture here, we have a half-orc level 1 paladin, 17 strength, wow. As you can see, and then over here, choose a Hireling. We have Eldra Lutheran, Brynna Brightsong, Zenith, Vuasel, Danton, Varana, Sunblossom, Zenithith, Kurz, Veril, Wenker. That's a you can't say that word, Larian. Wenker? Oh, I'm going to hire him just for his name. Wenker? Oh, if you're British, you'll understand. Oh, my goodness. Medala, Deadeye, Fafnir, Creed, Derek, and Servuzalump. And it gives you a bit of talk about them. Kurz lived many years as a paladin and mercenary, years which took a hard toll on them. Befriending a group of pleasant ogres, they laid down their weapons and taught a rudimentary etiquette class. There's a lot of big words. Before the ogres were attacked one night and Kurz... Oh, damn. Interesting. So choose a Hireling. Let's see what the Hirelings are about. But what if I want to create a party that is made up entirely of giant, druidic badgers? See, they spoke about this again. So I know a bit about these Hirelings that they've spoke about, which is going to be mental. I'm pretty sure they take control of your party. Instead of having an origin character like Lazel or Shadowheart, something like that, you can get Hirelings. Let's see. So we hear you loud and clear, community. So should you so choose, you'll be able to create a custom party without any origins. No origins in your party. Completely custom. Opting instead to have Hirelings join you on the road. Mercenaries who can be hired to join your team temporarily. In Baldur's Gate 3, there are 12 Hirelings available that you see right here. One for each class. Each has their own name, visuals, and race, and can be respect at any time. So if you want to respect their abilities, you have the choice. Oh my goodness. You see this again. Not only do we have 46 subclasses, plus the ability now to mix and match your class, your own class, but also one playthrough, you might have Shadowheart, Lazel, Gale in your party, let's say. Another playthrough, you may choose to have none of them and go entirely for Hirelings. Again, adding to that replayability of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm intrigued about those Hirelings. I want to see some of them. I'm really intrigued. I think in our playthrough, we're definitely going to look into them, see how they are, see how the respecking of them goes, and really dive deep into the Hirelings, because I like the sound of them. I think they sound really, really cool. But then again, it's the hard thing of I also want to see the origin stories play out, so it's going to be a hard thing of balancing everyone. And speaking of origin characters, here we go. Experience Baldur's Gate 3 through new eyes as a playable, pre-authored origin character. I believe this is the Dark Urge. So what is an origin character exactly? They're playable heroes, each with their own stories, desires, and attitudes. Before we continue, not only... I feel like I keep adding on. Not only do we have 46 subclasses, not only can we now multi-class, meaning we can make a combination of all of these different classes, not only do we have Hirelings to choose from instead of origins, but we can also have a playthrough where we control one of these origin characters that we have seen through early access and beyond. There's endless possibilities at this rate, ladies and gentlemen. We just keep adding more and more and more replayability to this game. I already know we're going to be a Dragonborn for our playthrough on YouTube. I'm also going to have an off-camera playthrough where I just play, you know, laying in bed on my big TV, just enjoying the game by myself. I'm also having a co-op save with my girlfriend. So there's already 3 series that I'm doing alone. We'll probably have another modded series on the channel later on in like a few months down the line. The playability is endless. Customized character. Instead, these origin characters become your companions who you may or may not recruit throughout your journey. There's Big Astarion. You may have already met Shadowheart, Will, Gale, Astarion, Lazel, and Karlach, heroes each with their own tale to tell and secrets to reveal, driven by your choices as a player. Today, however, we're looking at an entirely new way to play Baldur's Gate 3. The Dark Urge. I apologize for my talking. I'm so excited. And when I get excited, I talk really fast. And when I talk really fast, I flub a lot. So, become the Dark Urge, your final playable origin. Again, we spoke about him before in some previous videos, but we've only known a small glimpse of what he has to offer. So, let's have a look at what the Dark Urge is all about. Over the past 3 weeks, we've been leaving a breadcrumb trail of clues, leading to the reveal of the final playable origin character. The community-driven murder mystery, Blood in Baldur's Gate, saw players investigate a series of vicious murders across a lower city, and attempt to track down their perpetrator. While y'all were ultimately brutally murdered at the killer's hand, in your last waking moments, you saw your executioner, the Dark Urge, an imposing dragonborn with alabaster skin and a piercing gaze of a predator in the wild. Unlike Baldur's Gate 3's other playable protagonist, the Dark Urge is a fully customizable character. Should you prefer that this darkness take the shape of a doe-eyed gnome instead, or think true evil is a half... Oh, the choice is yours! From your class and species to your gender and overall appearance, and even your name... Oh my... See, this is something I didn't know. I thought the Dark Urge was I thought the Dark Urge was a Dragonborn, no matter what. I thought the Dark Urge would be a dragon, and that's actually really good because, like I said, I'm going to be playing as a Dragonborn on our YouTube series, so now we can have a completely different series where we play as the Dark Urge, and we can make him or her a completely different race. I didn't know that was a possibility. I don't think they mentioned that in the panel from hell, so that's new information. You can completely customize the Dark Urge. He could be a human, he could be a gnome, he could be a half-orc. That is awesome. We may have 2 playthroughs on the channel, our Dragonborn and also the Dark Urge. Who is the Dark Urge then? That's a good question, and it's one that players will answer for themselves as they journey down this dark path. As the Dark Urge, you begin Baldur's Gate 3 with your memory lost after an unfortunate encounter between a parasitic tadpole and your brain. Now all that's left is an insatiable urge, an urge that makes itself known in your subconscious, through your deepest thoughts, and in your dialogue options. Their time of need is... Fell, I'm going to call them, voiced by Brian Bowles. Nice. Narrator in Divinity. Oh, I'm actually replaying DOS 2 right now, actually, on my laptop, so that's actually really cool. A vile and loyal servant, Fell lives only to see the Dark Urge return to their rightful blood-stained path and urges them to commit some of the most lurid acts of violence that you'll encounter in the game. Oh boy, the Dark Urge, not a good guy. But whether you indulge your most depraved impulses or attempt to resist them in this role is entirely up to you. We might have to have 2 playthroughs. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to have 2 simultaneous playthroughs? One of the Dark Urge and one as our own custom character, the Dragonborn. Or do we start as our Dragonborn and maybe like in a few months when we're a bit further, maybe into Act 2, Act 3 of our save, do we then start the Dark Urge? Let me know in the comments down below. 2 side by side, or do you want to focus on one first and then slowly bring in the other? That's going to be interesting. Despite the darkness lurking within this character, how you choose to play the Dark Urge is for you to decide. In Baldur's Gate 3, there's no clear-cut evil path, and no path that is plainly good. There are simply choices, ramifications, and a personal evolution that will ensure who you play is as complex and multifaceted as you are. Oh my god, this makes me so excited. It has to be August 3rd already. It has to be. That's also not only do we have 46 subclasses, this is becoming a theme, not only can we multi-class our own custom character, not only can we play as these origin characters, not only can we customize this new origin character, but if you think about it, no matter, even if you take a Dragonborn Paladin and play another Dragonborn Paladin, the choices that you have through the game can be completely different. One playthrough you could be all good, one playthrough you could be all evil, one playthrough you could swap halfway through. Literally, and I've said this about 5 times now, this video, someone count, the possibilities are endless. The Dark Urge can even form a romantic relationship just like any other origin character. We've seen that a lot. Roar. Of course, relationships with those who harbor dark secrets are often complicated, and this is one that will require a patient paramour capable of tempering and restraining their partner's most primal and untamed desires, and hopefully one with more than a passing interest in bondage. Love in the Time of Tentacles. Dark Urge sounds awesome, dude. Dark Urge sounds awesome. Very, very cool. In Baldur's Gate 3, we wanted romantic relationships to possess the same complexity and depth as any other part of our narrative. Every relationship you forge is different, reflecting the personality and personal arc of that character over the course of the game. Some may begin with a steamy, wild-shaped transformation. Others start cautiously and require more attention to foster a deeper connection. Relationships change over time, and neither you nor your partner will be the same person in Act 1 as you are by the game's end. This includes in your relationship to your guardian, the character you create at the start of the game, who represents all that you desire. So in early access, once if you have played early access, you know about this. If you haven't, once you create your character and you click continue, it then takes you to another character, and the narrator says something. I literally just heard it like 10 minutes before recording this because I was testing something on Baldur's Gate on my laptop. It says who do you see when you sleep, or something like that? Like, who do you think of when you sleep? Who's your lover, basically? Who's your interest? And you create this character that you see in your dreams later on. And now apparently they're changing that, and we've heard a bit about this, but they're changing it to guardian. So now apparently the narrator will say, who do you see as your guardian? so they have a different role potentially in the full release. Let's dive in. This includes in your relationship in your Guardian, the character you create at the start of the game who represents all that you desire. There you go. The Guardian has changed significantly. No, let's hold up. Since you first encountered them in your dreams throughout early access. There we go. We've worked to thematically deepen this narrative thread, going beyond the realm of physical desire to encompass the full spectrum of complex emotions that must be navigated in order for you to truly trust another. We hope you enjoyed the previous maddeningly vague sentence, because you'll have to play for yourself to find out what any of it means. Oh my god, they're not telling us. Larian Studios and their sneaky, sneaky, sneaky little secrets. It's just making me want it to play it even more though. So it's working. It's working. They know what they're doing. They're building us up. After intimacy also varies greatly for each relationship along the course of the game. A companion like Lae'zel, who exudes sexual energy at the beginning of every relationship, can take time to let her guard down, making the act of holding her hand all the more intimate. So it also depends on the characters too. On the other hand, a relationship that begins with an out of post-gobbling, slaughtering passion could also blossom into something vulnerable and sweet, given proper care. No two relationships follow the same formula. Ladies and gentlemen, not only do we have 46 subclasses... I'm not going to do it again. We can also have sex with anyone. There you go. It was important to us to portray sex as more than a trophy for complying with a companion's quest line. I like that. In Baldur's Gate 3, you're encouraged to navigate your relationship, to argue with your partner, and challenge their way of thinking, just like real life. After all, if you just go along with whatever they want to do, you may find yourself sacrificed in an evil god's sex rite, turned into a vampire, or worst of all, warns senior origin narrative designer. I can't talk today. Baudelaire Welch, you might even end up getting married. Bum, bum, bum. From Cauldron to Vial, mastering the art of alchemy. Okay, so this has not been in early access. Let's have a look at alchemy. A new crafting feature comes to Baldur's Gate, the domain of magic wielders, conjurers, and anyone with a passing interest in mysterious fumes. Alchemy allows you to turn your collection of herbs, wild mushrooms, crystals, and monster limbs into useful items you can prepare ahead of a fight. Oh my god. So potions, elixirs. So you can see you salts of any suspension, elixir of the Colossus. You put them all in a suspicious looking triangle. Bish, bash, bosh. You get some new stuff. Baldur's Gate 3, you can use the ingredients found in the wilderness. Gate 3, you can use ingredients found in the wilderness to create a variety of extracts. Then combine extracts to create potions, poisons, and oils to imbibe or coat your weapons with. That sounds awesome. Now, I've never been a massive fan of alchemy. In former like D&D games and like games where, you know, RPG games where you can craft stuff. Normally, I'm a hack and slasher, right? Normally, I'm a hack and slasher, just like this. This is how my barbarian goes, right? Normally, I'm not a big fan of alchemy and potions and poisons and whatnot, but this has my attention. I think this could be very, 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 very intriguing if done right. And if it's Larian who are doing it, which it is, I can only assume it's going to be done absolutely perfectly. But I'm intrigued. Very, very intrigued. We're just past halfway done with this article, by the way. I'm excited. Meet the third major villain of Baldur's Gate 3, Orin the Red. Now, we saw her a bit in the panel from Elle as well. She looks absolutely exciting. Completing the trinity of villains in Baldur's Gate 3 is Orin, a practitioner in the art of inflicting pain and a grandmaster of murder. Orin has killed for many years, but has yet to be caught, thanks in part to her shape-shifting ability, so we don't even know who she is, which enable her to take the form of anyone, perhaps even someone in your camp. Oh, I don't like that. They're alluding there. They are alluding. Oh, there's going to be a scene where we think it's her and it's not her, and oh. Hides her cravings to commit murder beneath these numerous masks, disguising her intentions and herself to lure unsuspecting victims. It's during the act of murder that she is her truest self. At that moment, Orin is voiced by the incredible Maggie Robertson, known as many of the voices of Lady Demetrius, Resident Evil Village, and that name in God of War Ragnarok. I've not played either of those two, but if you have, that's her voice. Skrit Spleen. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh no, Nelly. Skrit Spleen. Oh boy. Split screen co-op multiplayer. And here we go. They actually showed this off at the panel from hell. My man went up, picked up the controller, boom. It cuts to split screen, which I'm very excited about. Again, I might have a playthrough with my girlfriend, which will be split screen. And I'm excited to see how this works. I mean, by the looks of it, as long as they're both, you know, running at good frames, it doesn't like harbor the frames, this looks exciting. In addition to having online multiplayer for 4 players, in Baldur's Gate 3, 2 of you can grab controllers and jump straight into 2-player split-screen couch co-op. Baldur's Gate 3 comes to life in multiplayer, empowered by all those extra fingers, poised to tip the dominoes and unleash a cascading chain of events upon the Forgotten Realms. I wish my friends enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3. I played Divinity Original Sin 2 with them for a little bit. I tried to get them into it as much as possible, but they're not into Baldur's Gate as much as I am, and I wish they were, because playing this game multiplayer would be incredible. If any of you need a friend, join my Discord, link in the description. Maybe we can play together. Players can join a party before they start a playthrough, during character creation, or during an ongoing game. Each of the playable origin characters can be chosen only once, or, should you prefer, you can mold a creation of your own. Players will share most of the information that the game provides them, like journal notes about ongoing adventures, minimap discoveries, and alchemical recipes. Player inventories are also shared by default in multiplayer, but there's an option to lock your inventory from your thieving pals. It's like Minecraft, everyone always steals your diamonds in the end. Players also share inspiration points that they gain when fulfilling goals defined by their chosen background. These points can be used to reroll checks in dialogue. In multiplayer, you can listen in on conversations started by another player and vote on which dialogue option you want them to take. Some select scenes are private by default in your options, however, including romance scenes. But players can make all secret scenes public to their party should they wish. Interesting. I'm excited about the multiplayer aspect. I think a lot of fun can come from a game like this with multiplayer. A cinematic kaleidoscope showcasing the breadth and depth of your choices. Now, they've not spoken about the 72 hours early access just yet. Hopefully, it's coming at the end. They may have taken it away. As long as it's still August 3rd, I don't mind, but I'm holding on to hope that at the end of this, it says you still have it 72 hours early. Baldur's Gate 3's 174 hours of cinematic content is a reflection of all the possible choices players can make in the game and the narrative permutations that will come out of each of those decisions. Not only do you have 46... I'm joking. With more than 2,000 characters for you to interact with, different reactivities based on your chosen species and class, and a golden path that takes over 80 hours to complete. You can expect to discover a staggering amount of previously unseen content in your second or even your third playthrough. Again, I'm going to have at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 playthroughs on this channel. Plenty of different videos as well, here and there, throughout the Let's Play as well. But the main thing on this channel, going forward when this game releases, that first playthrough, it's going to be the longest series on this channel's history, and I can't wait. If you caught Panda from our last week, you'll have seen just how those decisions affect your experience once you set foot into Act 2. They showed a bit of Act 2 with spoilers. Trek through the mountain pass as Shadowheart, then explore the Sharan territory of the Shadow-Cursed lands safely as a cleric of Shar. Or you might instead choose to traverse the Underdark, then find safety within the hamlets of Harpers, led by the long-standing series icon herself, Jaheira, #Mummy, but it's spelt wrong, it's spelt with an O. And headlines, the echoes of your deeds. Now, this is awesome. Upon reaching Baldur's Gate, your choices will begin to express themselves throughout the world in other ways. Crowds in the city will systematically gossip and talk about your escapades and failures. You can even be influenced through your directly modifying the paper and printing the most favorable headlines. Now, they spoke a bit about this in the panel from hell. Basically, when you get into Baldur's Gate, it sounds like such a thriving city. It sounds like a real city as you're walking through. It looks and sounds incredible. Not only is there a newspaper article that they said that you can also go into the printing room and you can literally print whatever you want. So let's say the front page is, oh, your character, Tav, let's just call him, is a killer. Like, if you see him reporting, blah, 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 you can go into the printing press room and change the story to be like, Tav is the nicest person ever. If you see him, give him all your gold. You know, little examples like they'll probably have like specific options, but you can change what the paper says. And it also changes depending on your story as well. So if you have gone through and killed everyone, it'll probably be in the paper. If you've been super nice and helpful, that'll be in the paper. It looks incredible. And not only that, you also hear the other non-playable characters around the city talking about you and your adventures, as well as other things here and there. So one of them said, you don't have to go around clicking on each individual NPC to hear the stories. Just walking through the city, you'll be shot with all these different sounds, voices, and, you know, songs going on about all the adventures that you've been on. And I think that is incredible. Don't worry, you can stream BG3. As we near release, we thought it prudent to remind anyone looking to stream Baldur's Gate 3 of some useful tools designed to create a better experience for you and your audience. Some of you have shown concern about mature content that could potentially become flagged by your chosen streaming platform. For those of you who want complete peace of mind, you will find 2 new user options within the options menu. Fair enough. From here, you can enable or disable the content at your convenience. We'd also like to remind you that there is a really cool Twitch integration that, once enabled and connected to, lets your viewers see your party view, track your quests, and vote on dialogue options. Of course, we now have live streams on this YouTube channel, actually. RK does all the streaming on this channel. He does Regents Pro Wrestling, the #1 wrestling show in sports entertainment. But he has spoke about potentially also streaming Baldur's Gate 3. So if he does, there will also be live streams of Baldur's Gate 3 where you guys in the chat and audience can choose the options, the dialogue options, the characters, and all stuff like that. It will be all down to you how we play through that journey with RK. You'll notice him. Everyone says he looks like me. I don't see it, but his sleeves will be rolled up, and that's how you know it's RK. He'll probably be flexing or something, but there you go. If you see him, say hello. The road ahead. Oh, it looks beautiful. Give me. Give me. We've updated our Steam page to better reflect the content of the game and bring the early access section up to date, as well as the specifications. On that page, we're recommending that players don't buy the early access version of Baldur's Gate 3 with a view to play through that content. Partly because it's out of date, but mostly because we're so close to launch and want to make it very clear that saves in the early access version do not transfer into the full game. Okay, this is due to technical reasons. That's absolutely fine. I wouldn't expect them to. Also, I feel like early access has been here for like, what, 3 years now or something? Like, you would want to start this whole thing from scratch. This whole new journey from scratch. So I completely... that's understandable, and that is fine. Essentially, the game is so vastly different that it's not possible to make those save files compatible. Again, it makes perfect sense. It really does. A purchase of early access is essentially a pre-order and will still grant you access to the digital deluxe content for Baldur's Gate 3 on PC, granting you access to an exclusive in-game dice skin, the Divinity Bard Song Pack, Treasures of the Revellion Pack, Adventures Pouch, all of this stuff you get, basically. PC Digital Deluxe Edition does not include a 72-hour head start. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the confirmation. Does not include a 72-hour head start. Now, those talks about that potentially happening, let's see why it wasn't. Which would have essentially made the game's release date July 31st, shifting the release date, and thus communications around the digital deluxe editions across PS5 and PC came with a few complexities that we didn't manage to communicate very well, so we thought it best to clarify it here, given that a 72-hour head start on PC wouldn't have been plausible. But isn't it wild? Our PC launch is just a few weeks away. Baldur's Gate 3 is set to release on PC on August 3rd, so it still remains August 3rd. You know what? We've waited this long. We've waited these many years. We can wait a couple weeks extra. We can wait 72 hours extra, okay? It would have been nice to have a little head start on Act 1, but at the end of the day, we can wait till August 3rd. As long as it's August 3rd, I don't want any more delays, Larian. Please, I can't handle any more delays. But we can handle August 3rd. And of course, for PlayStation 5, just a few weeks later, September 6th or September 3rd, if you pre-order the Digital Deluxe Edition for PS5. For those of you who have been with us for our early access, we want to thank you for all the support over the years. One of the reasons we chose to release Baldur's Gate 3 in early access is because it would give us the opportunity to listen to your feedback and make meaningful changes in return. I mean, you can complain as much as you want about this game being in early access for so long, and my friends have, trust me, they've been bullying me the past couple years about saying like, oh, is this game ever going to release? They've been teasing me about if this game will ever come, and I trusted in Larian. After my love of Divinity and the older Baldur's Gate games, I trusted in them. And just by playing early access, I knew that they were going to smash it out of the park. I've already said, this game is my game of the year. I don't care about Starfield and Zelda and whatever else. This game will be my game of the year. And I hope that Larian get the recognition that they deserve. I mean, being in early access for this long, so many changes to this full game have come from players playing in early access that otherwise they wouldn't have known about issues, bugs, and quality of life changes that we, the players, would want to actually get in the full release. As a result, your participation has been instrumental in helping us bring the Forgotten Realms to life. Everything you play, be it Act 2 and 3, or a return to Act 1, will reflect how we've gotten better at making the game. Thanks in no small part to all your feedback, comments, and love over the years. I might cry, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It really has. We also want to send out a very special thank you to everyone who's been sending us hyper-realistic house and fan art. It inspires us, it sustains us, it frightens us to our core. The meme game has been real. We still have some work to do, but we're thrilled to learn that those who've played the game at our recent press event really enjoyed what they experienced, and we can't wait for you to experience it yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, Larian Studios. What? Their community updates, I'll give it to them. Their community updates are always absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, so there you go. That is all the news here today in community update number 21, Forging Your Legacy. We do have the confirmation that we will not get the 72 hours early access, but that is a-okay. August 3rd is the day that will change lives on PC. Ladies and gentlemen, here on this channel, August 3rd. What day is August 3rd, ladies and gentlemen? I don't even know. It's a Thursday. It is a Thursday. And, boom, episode 1, hopefully, will be ready for Thursday. Well, actually, episode 0 will be creating our character, but there you go. A full playthrough is coming. We're going to have 2 or 3 probably full playthroughs. We're going to have class builds, little tips and tricks here and there, little behind-the-scenes videos. I want this channel to evolve into a Baldur's Gate 3 and like a D&D channel over the next coming months and years going forward. We have our sports community. I want to get a BG3 community as well. Put them all together in a room and see what comes out the other side. So hopefully you have liked this video. Hopefully you've subscribed with the bell turned on to be notified. We do upload daily on this channel. There's also live streams every Monday, Thursday, and Friday with RK. There's YouTube shorts every day. A lot of effort and dedication goes into this channel. So hopefully, you know, that resonates in the videos and you do enjoy them. Ladies and gentlemen, August 3rd is just around the corner, less than a month away. I've been Harutuvi, awesome as Kid. Much of as always, take care and peace.